Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Thrunite TC12, a USB rechargeable torch. So as long as you have your phone charger with you, you can also charge this, which is nice. We've got a pocket clip. It is very, very strong, not usable from the factory. I did have to bend it. This was just far too close to the body of the torch. Almost no way to clip it onto anything, jeans or a belt or whatever, without using both hands to do it. So I just bent it with some pliers, not a big problem. This did come with a nice pouch. For me, this is not a pouch I would use because when I want to leave the house and take a torch with me, I would need to undo my belt to put this on. For example, my SOG pliers have this amazing little case which clips onto the belt really, really easily. But then because it has that nice little loop shape there, in my opinion, it's just not going to come off on its own. This is more secure, just it's a bit more of a pain to put it on and off. So for me, when I'm taking this out, it's either going to be in my pocket with the pocket clip or possibly on my belt with the pocket clip. And also it's going to be somewhat easy for this to come out by accident. I don't think there's a very high chance of that happening, but keep in mind that in theory, it could come out on its own. Pretty nice lanyard with an adjustable little thing there. Did come with a cable replacement covers for the USB charging port. There's two of those and two replacement O-rings for the seal there and a replacement tail cap cover. So I am here in the park with my cat and set up the camera so that the brightness that you guys are seeing is similar to what I'm seeing with my eyes. So I can see the stars a little bit. So we're going to start off here in Firefly mode. So with this, I can quite easily see things in front of me. This is mostly for slightly more close-up stuff or for when your eyes really adjust to the dark. Low mode is already a big difference. And so this allows me to easily see things, you know, here, over there I can see the details in the fence, no problem. One higher to the more sort of medium mode, already a really good amount of light. So I can really easily see all the details in the trees. And, you know, up close, really nice and bright. I can quite easily light up a really good amount of the park. And I've no idea where my cat went. One higher. And we can pretty much light up the entire park. See those trees really, really well. Really nice and bright. And one up again. There's not that big of a difference. That jump from high to turbo just isn't so big, but lots of light in turbo mode, so I can basically light up the entire park. There's my cat. The charging ports I do find not as ideal as one that just plops into a charging base. For me, that is just the most convenient to just get home, take my torch out of my pocket, and I just put it down and I know that in the morning it's going to be charged. With this, it's a little bit more complicated, not difficult or problematic, but just not quite as convenient. So here is an example. I'm going to just charge it off a battery. So I get back home, I plug it in, and if I leave it like that, nothing will happen. I have to turn that on. If it's getting power and it's turned on, then the light will turn off there. That's my cat. And then now the torch is going to charge. But when you unplug it in the morning, you might get a bright light in your eye because it will come back on since the button is now pressed into the on position. So not a big problem. It's just one of those things that isn't ideal. And when you have this charging and it's getting power, then you can actually use this button. If this is on, which it should be for it to charge, then you can press this to get a little bit of light. You can have it in moonlight mode, like that, or in low mode. So it's just nice, you know, if you want to use this as a little night light or a little desk lamp or whatever, little work light while it's charging, then you can do that. The reason I got this is because I wanted a tail clip. If you know what brightness you're going to need, then you set it before using that button, and then you have a one button to turn it on and off. For me, what I found was that just wasn't ideal. The reason for that is that I don't always want the same brightness as I was using the previous time. Let's say I want the moonlight mode because I don't want to blind myself with too much light. With this, there's no instant way to get to that. If I want to get to moonlight mode, I have to cover the torch up, turn it on, and the same goes for other modes. Let's say I have the torch off, but suddenly I need a lot of light. So then I turn it on, and then I have to move my hand to there to change brightness to the one I want. I often find that if I've used moonlight mode as the previous mode. Then when I turn it on, I think that it's off, and then I'm sort of clicking all the buttons to try and get it to turn on. 1000 lumen turbo mode, so that is So here's an example with a torch that only has one button. So if I want to get to moonlight mode, I hold it down and I have moonlight mode. If I want to get to full power from being off, then I double press and I get to full power. So for me, that works better, but that's just a very personal thing. Thrunite make torches with only one button. So it's just my mistake of choosing one with two buttons that just doesn't work for me. Now this can tail stand when it's in the on position, but when it's in the off position, the little tail button does stick out a tiny bit, so it's not quite as stable. And then when we're in the on position, then we can hold down the button to get to the strobe mode, sort of like the self-defense sort of thing. So I did a little test. It's not a very scientific thing, but I wanted to see how easily I could reach the torch and sort of grab it while that is pointed at my face, both in the full power mode and in the strobe mode. And what I found was that the strobe mode made it definitely much slower and more difficult for me to walk over to the light compared to just having it on in full brightness and shining towards me. Now, as with most torches, this is well made, nice, solid, strong piece of metal, not too heavy. And it's fairly compact. It's 140 millimeters or around 5.5 inches. So let's start off at the bottom here. We've got Firefly mode at 0.4 lumens, and that'll last for 70 days. Then we've got low mode at 28 lumens, and that will last for 3 days. Then we've got the medium mode at 180 lumens, and that'll last for 9.5 hours. Then high mode with 640 lumens, which will last for 2.5 hours. Or turbo mode at 1000 lumens. It will last for, I think, about 45 minutes in turbo mode before jumping over to high mode. Basically, it depends on the temperature of the light. It will, when it gets too hot, it will jump down from turbo to the 640 lumen mode. Now, I think that is a very nice feature for that to actually have a temperature sensor or regulator in there. Basically, some of the torches are on a timer. So after 5 minutes or 2 minutes, they will jump down to the lower mode. We've got a 1 meter impact resistance. This is IPX8 rated for water resistance. So basically a 2 meter submergence in water. Now, I'm not sure how well that works with this. For example, if you didn't close this perfectly. So once again, a torch that has a charging base instead of a USB connection might be more water resistant. So I would say if you like a torch with the 2 different buttons, then this is absolutely fantastic. If not, then there are other options. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this useful. Obviously, feel free to ask me questions in the comments down below. And if you want to support this channel, then you can get yours from the links below from eBay or Amazon. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.